Good morning, everyone. My name is Shanella Marias, and I'd like to welcome you all to our live webcast. The focus of our webcast today is Dynamics Association Blueprint. We're very excited to have Eric, our Customer Success Manager of CRM Dynamics, presenting for us today. Before we officially begin, I will share a little about the solution, and then Eric will kindly add to my blurb and give you a demo of the Blueprint's capabilities. Dynamics Association Blueprint is designed to be an out-of-the-box CRM that is positioned to meet the unique needs of membership associations. Although customizable, the product's out-of-the-box capability is designed to meet the basic functional needs of any budget-conscious associations in mind. So it is built right within the Microsoft Dynamics 365 platform, and it provides a 360-degree view of each member, basically giving your business operational control over sales, service, marketing, and social engagement insights. On that note, I would like to invite Eric to further help you learn all about Dynamics Association Blueprint.
Thank you very much, Shanella. Good morning, everybody, or good afternoon, depending on where you're watching from. And I'm very excited to share with you today the impact our Dynamics Blueprints can have on your organization. I'll go forward to a little bit more about myself. We'll talk about the Blueprint features today. Of course, what everyone's here for, we're going to go through a live product demonstration, including our Office 365 integrations to Outlook. Of course, on the CRM side, Power BI reporting, and lastly, but certainly not least in this case, is our customer-facing portal where our members get a lot of their self-serve functionality. So a little bit about myself. I have a focus here as the customer success manager on our Dynamics blueprints, but even further from there, I have a focus on associations, non-for-profits, and charities. Hence why here I'll be our subject matter expert on the association's blueprint. And from there as well, I work a lot in higher education and helping organizations take their first step into CRM with our quick launch blueprint. Now, at the end of the day, guys, we are talking software, we are talking CRM, and for a lot of people that can be a little bit dry. But I always like to think about the impact we're going to make. And I like to think about us as individuals and for you, for your members. And at the end of the day, the work that you can accomplish with a system that supports you. And so what I always like to say is software is at its most exciting when considering the impact that it will have. A little bit about who we are. CRM Dynamics is a gold certified Microsoft partner located just outside of Toronto. We have over 60 consultants that are solely focused on Dynamics 365. Just last year, we were awarded the 2019 Impact Award, and we are very proud of this. This is a little bit like the Stanley Cup in our books, not for growth in revenue or number of sales made, but this award is for the largest impact made on an organization by implementing Dynamics. So we're very proud of that. And for later on in the year, we became part of Microsoft's Inner Circle. So that's something only the top 1% of partners receive globally. At the end of the day, all of our experience with Dynamics 365 has led to us to be able to integrate with large complex systems, including ERP systems, financial management systems, student information systems, and much more, including Business Central. As Shanella mentioned, we've been using blueprints to help our customers increase their or decrease their implementation time and improve their value from cost. What we've done through hundreds of custom projects over the years, we've learned that different industries have specific needs, but we also find commonalities amongst different industries. So our blueprints, including our association blueprint, is tailored towards that industry. And from there, we like to look at it like starting a 10K race and walking on at the 8K mark and being able to finish just that last little bit that we do to bring the solution from where it is to where it needs to be for your organization. Now, in this case, what we've resulted in is a consolidated system with one integrated system that can be an experience for all of your members and for your organization. Why are you here today? What sort of common issues are we finding that we feel our association blueprint can help with? The first thing we find is lapsing memberships. So this can be for multiple different reasons, whether it be because of lack of options for payment, whether it be because of payment issues, or whether it be because of communication issues, lack of automation. We find that we work so hard to gain our members that we need to fight hard to make sure that we retain our members as well. We find that a lot of associations, especially the smaller ones over time, end up with fragmented data. And this means that you have multiple platforms or for multiple different departments or different functions that don't speak to each other. So we can't get a clear view of what's going on in different areas of our organization. The lack of self-serve capabilities we find to be a big issue, whether it be the ability for your members to access events, change things on their profile or their castle compliance or GDPR compliance, whether they'd like to edit their own membership, change their level of membership, edit their payment style, you name it, whether they'd like to open a case or a ticket, something that's going on with them. And lastly, if they'd like to use their storefront to whether it's purchase a paid event, a product, or a course or something that you offer. That leads us to the lack of digital payment gateway. So if you do want paid services available to your clients or to your members, the ability to do so. Quality, relevant marketing content. This one is a huge one for me. We live in a day and age now where we're constantly being bombarded with communications from a multitude of different organizations or different places. And it is more important than ever that we provide quality and relevant marketing content to the people we want to communicate with. And what this means is that we understand what their interests are and how we can communicate with them. So that way, when they open something from us, they feel they're being provided value. Visibility and reporting. So once we have all of these great functionality and we understand our process within the solution, we want to make sure that we have the ability to report and make real-time decisions so we can understand where there may be inefficiencies or maybe bottlenecks in our process. And lastly, unresolved cases and tickets. As I mentioned, it's very important that we take care of our individual members at this time, both through how we communicate with them, but with customer satisfaction as well. So we need to make sure that if they have any cases or tickets open, that we come to a quick resolution. I'm going to go through this in the live demonstration in just a moment, but I just wanted to list the features that are going to help us answer some of those questions and some of those issues that we just spoke about. So our member management, of course, whether different types of members and different membership capabilities. Our event management, so an events calendar available through the portal and being able to manage them from the CRM side to understand who's going to events and report nicely on the result of that event. A storefront where you can easily, as I mentioned, have products, paid events, or courses that you offer with a fully integrated payment gateway. Continuing education. So whether you want to track your members' education or have prerequisites for courses or registration for events. Information sharing, as we talked about before, very crucial that we do this in the right way. So whether it's managing their subscription lists or their castle compliance or allowing them to do that themselves. And lastly here is fundraiser and donor management. For some of you that applies. So we want to track our donors, their history of donations, even communicate effectively based on who we know is a donor. Security, whether it be with the out-of-the-box security rules or we get slightly more complex, you can easily segment your organization between who can see what data, so that way people are only accessing the information that you want them to see. And of course, security is always top of mind through our portal, and everything is hosted here on Azure. Membership directories, so it could be internal or external, whether you'd like to have a lookup on your portal or if it's just an internal membership directory. Of course, we're multilingual ready with English, French, and Spanish, and we have dozens of other languages available if you let us know. Office 365 and Dynamics marketing integration. So this is one of the great benefits of going onto a platform like Dynamics 365. We have seamless integration with your Office 365 platform and of course your marketing platform as well. So everything sits inside a nice one database where we can access everything. Portal and member website. So this is where a lot of our self-serve functionality comes out. As we spoke about before, we'll be spending a lot of time there today in the demo. And lastly, finance and performance reporting. Whether it's tracking taxes or tracking invoices for your members, we also want to make sure that we get our reporting from it as well so we can better identify any inefficiencies and fix them. So without any further ado, I'd like to bring things over onto the demonstration. When looking at any demonstration, I like to think of a day in the life of who may be using the system. And when I think of a day in the life, I'd either start my day in my Outlook, in my email, or in my CRM on a dashboard. For today, let's start our day in our email and we'll transfer into the CRM from there. So what you'll see here is look much like any of your desktop outlooks for those of you that are using it. The only thing that we'll notice is a little bit different is our Dynamics pane up in the corner. So here we have a traditional email from one of our members. They'd like to upgrade their membership. Could you please tell me how to do this? Now we have a few different things that we can do from here. But the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click my Dynamics pane, open it up to see if this recognizes a contact within my system. Once I recognize whether it's a contact within the system, which you can see here it is, I could either create a contact if it was not a contact already. I could create an account if there's an organization they belong to, or if we already have those, I can create an opportunity or a case right from here, depending on its content. The first thing I'm going to do is actually track this email. So once I track that email, any communication now on this thread will be tracked back to this user's contact record. Or if I wanted it regarding a specific opportunity, I could regard it on that opportunity or case from there. In this example, I'd like to see if we wanted to route this case to another person to help Michael here upgrade his membership. So if I would like to, I would fill in the customer's information. I can fill in the case title, the subject and case type, which is very interesting because we can have automatic routing based on the subject type or a case type. So if you have an individual that handles all the questions versus a problem, we can have it automatically routed to those individuals. Or if at this time you don't know exactly how to route it by subject or case type, we can automatically, or manually I should say, assign this now to others. So I can just type in the individual I'd like to assign it to and have it get a notification that they've received this opportunity or case. The last thing I'm going to do is actually show is if I wanted to handle this here myself. So we can see how we could create an account, case, contact, or lead or opportunity out of this email we have here. But what if I actually just want to help Michael here and now and get this over with, resolve the case right here. So I'm going to hit reply to the email. I'm actually going to reopen my Dynamics pane. And what we can do from here is use knowledge articles that are stored within the CRM. So not something on your desktop, or so you can have this anywhere on any device that you're accessing your Outlook. And once we open up our Dynamics pane, we have the ability to add one of those knowledge articles. In this case, I'm going to add a knowledge article around upgrading his membership. So just using an asterisk, I'm looking up any one that include a 1, and I'm clicking on the new membership and selecting it. This is actually going to populate my email here with what they need to do to upgrade their membership and a link to the portal that they need to go to do so. So very interesting. You can see the amount of functionality we have here just from the Outlook, and all of that doesn't need to be done on the CRM side. It's seamlessly tracked back. As I mentioned, we can start our day in one of two places. And so we had a look at our Outlook there, and now let's take a look on the dashboard side. So in this case, this is an example of a Power BI dashboard. And Power BI is very valuable for multiple reasons, but one of the great things about Power BI is that we can connect to multiple data sources so we can report on data that's not actually stored within our CRM. This report here is a classic management report. We can take a look at invoices, renewals, applications, or current members, but there's a lot of interesting stories here if we take a little bit of a deeper look. Let's have a look down at our applications for the year. When we take a look at January, I can drill down into January and you can see other data on the chart reflect that. So our tracking goals see that I had 18 applications with only 6 new members. And having a look at our applications, I can tell that I had 6 other ones here rejected and 6 in our pending approval. Now, let's call it about 33% that we had from applications to new members. As we go forward in the year, we can see the application volume drastically increase. Now, when that happens, we'd think that we'd have an increase of new members. But when I drill down into July, I only have 3 new members. I have 26 applications pending approval and 12 rejected. And now, so for me, what I see is a bottleneck in our process, that we can't handle the increase of applications as we see a much lower turnover to new members as our applications increase. So this solution here would have everything we need to fix it as well. But of course, this gives us the ability to actually report and manage and understand what's happening and when. A quick look at the navigation from here. Oh, I almost forgot. One of the coolest things about Power BI is actually being able to use speak in plain English or other languages to actually ask a question of your data. So in this case, as I mentioned, I have it connected to our renewal data. So what I could do is actually just ask a question of our data and say we want to know our expected renewals. It's going to give me that number there at 979, but I want to know that by month. And you can see that it's going to produce that for me in a bar chart, and I can see the breakdown by month. But let's go one step further, and I want to know what that looks like in a pie chart. So I can see the breakdown of how this is spread out through the year. And if this visual is good to me and the percentages that I'm seeing here, I can pin this visual to that existing dashboard you just saw. Or if there's a new meeting or report that I'd like to create weekly, we can have that there. So as I was just getting to is navigation within the CRM. So what we want to take a look at is on the left-hand side here, we can see all of our different entities. And this one, we have most of the entities exposed. But for example, if you were just focused on a member increase or focused on member development, we may only see our opportunities, accounts, and contacts, because those are the relevant entities to you. Versus where if you work in customer service, we may find ourselves only seeing accounts, contacts, and then cases. So we understand, so we don't have a cluttered screen and we can focus on the things that are important to us. Management, or those of which that want to get the 360-degree view, can easily have all of these exposed to themselves. And as we get better, we can keep that collapsed and use these on the side pane right here. Just for today's purposes, so you can follow better, I'll keep that opened up. And we're going to start ourselves into the contact. As most, we find member-based organizations focused on the individual member. So when we look at all of this data of our contacts, it can be a little bit overwhelming if we wanted to think about making an edit or change towards some of this data. But we can use familiar tools that are built in right here into CRM, like Excel Online. So if I export to Excel Online, I'm able to actually make edits to data, mass edits to data, and save them back to the CRM. Or I could export this to Excel offline, not have anything reflect back to the CRM, so that way I could use this data in an easy way, an easy format. Of course, if there's any concerns about exporting data, that's one of the things we can manage with the out-of-the-box security roles, so you're not able to do so. Let's take a quick dive into one of our contact records. The first thing that you're going to notice is the classic information on the left-hand side. So things like their name, the company they belong to, the type of contact they are to us, any contact information. As we look into the middle pane of the screen here, we're going to notice their actual invoices and memberships. So any current memberships that they carry, any past invoices, or any sections that they're a member of the organization. As we scroll down even further, we can see any accreditations they may have to their name. With our Vimeo integration, we can actually have our members earn points for their engagement in our community. So they can earn things like discounts from events or maybe a free webinar or different things like that. You can actually see any participation they've had in past events, or even if they were an exhibitor at one of those spaces. And lastly, on the right-hand side here, what we see is the timeline on this particular contact. So we can see that there was, when it was created, we can see that Michael was actually referred one of his friends as a member. We can see that he was added, got accreditation for participation, and we actually have an invitation from Michael as well. But one of the things that we pride ourselves within Dynamics is getting a 360-degree view of the contact, or the account, or the opportunity. And in this case, by clicking to the next tab, I can get that 360-degree view of everything that's going on within this member. I can understand that he has an opportunity to upgrade his membership, any past cases and their status of what's going on, any applications that he may have. You can see he actually wants to be a platinum member, which we have an application process for. Getting further into the details of the member, we can actually have a Bing or Google Maps integrations, so that way we have address validation and we keep clean data. We can go right down into their volunteer profile or details of their contacts, so we can understand their CASL compliance and contact preferences. We'll get to these, how they're managed within the portal for the client themselves or the member themselves. But the 360-degree view is very key to being able to take advantage of what we do here. So I'm going to click down into the opportunity record and take a look at what's going on with this opportunity to upgrade his membership. So on the left-hand side, again, we have all of the classic information we'd want to see, including a description of what this opportunity is. We have a timeline of anything that's taken place, so we can see that Michael was on vacation until July 3rd, but he actually has returned from vacation later than expected. So we have a note here to call Michael on the 23rd of September. We can see any stakeholders on this opportunity if there's other members or other people in this decision process. When we look at an opportunity, though, one of the most important things is to look at the business process flow along the top. So this could be edited. Any of these fields here could be changed to meet your team's terminology, or we could have added steps, more or less steps in this process to meet your business process. In this case, we have a qualify stage where it is required that we fill in the contact, the account, purchase time frame, the budget, and a few other pieces of information. And now this could be changed to the required information for yours, or they could just be suggested pieces of information. But what we like to do is have them required, so that way we can't move forward in the stages unless we've gathered the required information from that person. So that's taking a look at an opportunity record here. The last thing I'd like to do, we started in the contact. I've clicked into the opportunity record. And for those of you that focus more on organizations or account records, I'd like to take a click into the organization Michael belongs to. So from here, again, we can see our account information. We've got our timeline. We've got our contacts. We've got other contacts within this organization. So you may notice that Michael is a very good member of ours. He's an advocate for what we do. He spreads the good word of our organization. So it may be a good place to start looking for new members, or maybe communicate out to other members of Dunder Mifflin. We have a map view here with our Bing integration to actually show the location of this organization, something we can do in the contact record as well if you prefer. But you can see here from just like 2 clicks, I've got a 360-degree view of what's going on with Michael Scott and Dunder Mifflin. And if I wanted to understand that there was more going on here, again, I can see all of the opportunities and any of the other cases going on with this account if they were not with Michael, for example. One last piece here before I jump over into our portal. So I'm just bringing us back into our contact record. One of the biggest issues we found before was lapsing memberships, as I mentioned, and it came from a lack of options when it comes to how we actually bill our members. So when it comes to their options as far as can they prepay, can they have an automatic renewal monthly or annually, can they pay a 1, 3, 5-year option, bi-weekly, monthly, annually, and most importantly for you, is all of these options PCI compliant and easily configured to what you can do? The answer is yes to all of those things. And in fact, we can even have their invoices sent out automatically or available for reference through our online portal as well. So you can see your members get a lot of options, and you find it very easy for yourself to manage them so that there's no lapsing in memberships. From here, I'd like to bring us over onto our customer portal. So this is one of the most key pieces of this solution, I find, because it allows us to have our members access things for themselves, and at their own time and pace, they have access to all the services that we offer. So our homepage here, you can see, have a lot of features. As I scroll down, we have the ability to renew our membership, register for events, buy merchandise, submit a ticket or case, make a donation, joining our Learning Academy, or our community forums if they'd like to share through different threads and comment or share projects that they've been a part of. What I'd like to do today is we're going to go into a quick sign-in process to see what things look like as we go through that. While we're waiting for this, oh, nice and quick today for the screens. Apologies. So what we're going to do here is we're going to log straight in as Michael Scott. Take a look at Michael's profile and some of the things that he can do within the portal. As this may take a moment here to load for us, I'm just going to jump over into our Join Now page so you can see what it would look like if you were not a member yet. So you can see classic information, obviously what type of membership that we're looking for, their email, first name, and of course a portal to our payment gateway here so that you can actually provide payment for this right from the portal. Once our member is signed in, if you can forgive a little bit of a loading screen here on our demo environment, we can actually access our events screen. So from our events calendar, it's very easy for a member to click through the different months, find events that they may be interested in. As you can see, there's one coming up this Thursday, and we can register for those events right from here. So by clicking on the plus, I can have access to the type of tickets there may be. I'd actually like to take myself and a friend just as general admission to this event. So I can hit buy tickets from there, and as I go forward to our shopping cart, we'll notice that those tickets are there as well. So before I check out for my event, I decided that I'd actually wanted to purchase something from the store. So if I'm just going to, again, to save us the time, I'm going to click into our preloaded screen here into the shop. So I could add, say, for example, a CRMD mug to my shopping cart. So if I wanted to have a mug to go to the event with, I could do so. And you can see in my shopping cart now, I have my tickets and I have my mug. I'll save us the loading screen to go into the payment gateway from here, but we can simply check out from this point on. And these invoices are always available for reference. So around tax time, it's very good as well for those that are looking to take advantage of tax breaks with non-for-profits. You can always have your invoices available for them to print off right there from the portal. And our screen is taking a little while here, but I'm going to jump us right into our profile so you can see for Michael Scott. One of the great things that you can do from here is obviously edit all of your information that you'd like to have edited or changed. So if you move or a number or an email changes, you're not receiving a phone call or an email from your members every time that happens. They can actually make changes on their own. And then I think the most important part, if we're trying to get relevant and quality information to our members, is to have them decide what they'd like to hear about. And this could be a pick list of 20 different interests they have of what you do, or different areas of what you do, and obviously how we can actually get that information to them the best way for them. So there's many different things you can do within the profile or within the portal itself. But I'll just bring us back here, if I can, to our home page, just to conclude the feature list of what we have within the portal. But I find with this day and age, we want to increase the accessibility to our members. So whether that means at any time, at any place, any hour of the night, we want to give our members the ability to make changes or to access our services and what we offer to them. I find it to be very important that we do it ourselves. We do it with our banking. We do it with even our mortgages these days. We're handling themselves. So why not your organization, and why not your services to your member? That concludes our demonstration today on the Association Blueprint. If this is something that would be of interest to you, we have the power of and backing of Microsoft behind us, and we're very lucky to be organized to have envisioning workshops for any member-based organizations or non-for-profits. And what we can do is have a half-day session at Microsoft, or of course now virtually if we'd like to understand your business objectives within your organization and take a deep dive as to what is the art of the possible if your organization were to take on Dynamics 365. And with that, I'll conclude and I'll pass things back to Shanella. I appreciate all of your time today, and thanks for stopping in to have a look.
Thank you, Eric. If you would like additional information again and would like to set up a one-on-one demo to see the product, please feel free to contact us and we would be happy to provide a demo for you.